Hello, my name is Emma Webster, and for my digital innovation pilot project, I decided to focus on HyperDocs in the ELA classroom. It will focus on my fourth grade students. There are 48 of them because we are departmentalized, a morning group and an afternoon group. The 3 units I will be focusing on are units 2, 4, and 6, where my students are reading novels. Why is this innovative? It offers me a way of individualizing content. It promotes student agency, allows for flexibility. I can accommodate diverse learning styles. I can individualize instruction through these hyperdocs, and I can also vary the activities based on student interest. Student benefits, they'll be able to work at their own pace. They'll be able to access a variety of sources all in one place on this hyperdoc, videos, Padlets, presentations, etc. Students will have choice in how they receive the content at times. They might be able to read an article while others may want to view a video. They'll also be able to demonstrate their learning in creative and technological ways. The teaching benefits to this are numerous, but the biggest one for me is that I'll be able to pool small groups on a more daily basis. And since students will be working on their hyperdocs independently, that frees me up to pool more small groups and to really dive deeper into these novels with my students. So SAMR and hyperdocs, they're going to kind of interchange between the modification and the redefinition stages of the SAMR model. There will be digital spaces for them to collaborate. They'll participate in digital discussions. They can decide which type of sources they want to use, and a view, like I said in the previous slide, students will be able to guide their own learning through their own pacing and self-reflection. Students will master core academic content related to the deeper learning competencies, understanding concepts related to fiction and nonfiction, using literary terms properly, acquiring knowledge to create projects that show what they've learned, and will be able to understand why comprehension is so important, as well as reading and writing. They'll think critically and solve complex problems. They'll regularly self-reflect and view a variety of texts over the course of these units. They'll work together on a pretty regular basis. They'll communicate effectively through presentations, blogs, vlogs, and these hyperdocs. Students will also be able to gain feedback from their peers and collaborate digitally with some of these hyperdocs because some of them will be group work. They'll also learn how to learn through using these hyperdocs. It allows students to, one, work independently when necessary. This is especially effective when I have students reading different novels at the same time. And then they'll also develop academic mindsets. Students will kind of feel empowered that they're able to work independently, but they'll also know that they are getting what they need to make progress and move forward. So the goals of this project are for students to work independently and collaboratively for units 2, 4, and 6. They'll self-reflect on their own learning. They will learn to communicate and collaborate synchronously and asynchronously. They'll be able to select reading and writing tasks that they complete and create their own hyperdocs by the end. The grade level standards supported have to do mostly with identifying themes, focusing on character development, settings and how they affect the characters, being able to draw evidence from text, comparing contrasting themes, and understanding figurative language as well as word meanings. The ITSE standards really focus on empowered learners, digital citizen, knowledge constructors, innovative designer, and creative communicator standards, all of which really have to do with being able to use technology appropriately, safely, and effectively. The time of year that this will be taking place will be 3 times in a year, once in the fall, once in the winter, and once in the spring. It will take approximately 18 to 24 weeks for this entire project to be completed. Some of the activities I have for each of these units are included within the HyperDocs, but they will be producing at least 2 to 3 HyperDocs per each unit. Products that students will create, each student or group of students will be producing at least 1 to 2 HyperDocs per unit, but in addition to that, in units 2 and 4, they will also be creating a research project. And in unit 6, they will actually be creating a literary roadmap based on their main character in their novel. So the materials needed will vary from unit to unit, but the main difference is the novels. For all of these units, the tech pieces that I will need are one-to-one devices for all my students, Google Slides, Google Docs, Padlet, and KidBlog accounts to really get them started. And that is it for my digital innovation pilot project. Thank you for watching.